Hello, everybody, and I hope you and your families have had a really good week. My office here in the school, as many of you will know, looks out onto a lawn next to the CMA, and it's been a constantly changing scene this year. In September, we put up the marquee for the Year 7, 8, 9 pupils, so as I looked out from my office, I could see them all going into the marquee and generally enjoying most of the time that facility. Now, of course, that went at the end of last term, and we found that the grass underneath needed replacing, and so this is now being completely done, and it looks absolutely beautiful now. But the great thing is that the pupils who were congregating there in the Michaelmas term are still there. So we now have far more pupils outside in this area meeting, and there's been a tremendous job done by Lewis, our groundsman, putting out new seating. It looks like the area looks really beautiful now, and this is where the children tend to have their packed lunches. So it's a rather summery scene, despite the coldness of the weather, on a day-to-day basis. The table tennis tables are really popular at the moment, as is the mugger, as ever. So it's just great to see the children outside. I think at a time when they're having to wear masks all day indoors, the opportunity to get out and mix in the open air really is fantastic. And of course, we've now reached the 2/3 point through our mini term in school with only a week to go. And we're hoping that there will be a very clear update from the government over the Easter break as to how things will look at the start of next term. Now, one thing we've learned in this pandemic is that just as you expect things to loosen up, you find actually there's more of the same and things don't really go forward as quickly as you'd like. But what we're hoping the government will be saying is that there will be no requirement for masks in classrooms, either for teachers or for pupils, because that will clearly make the classroom experience more enjoyable again for everybody. But also there's the wider question of hygiene measures, the bubbles, social distancing, and so forth. So it would be very interesting to see what we're going to be asked to do at the start of next term. At the moment, it's impossible to say, and we just have to await the guidance. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about arrangements for next term, what we're planning to put on, what sort of events, how things will look for Year 11 and the Upper 6th, and all this currently is under discussion. So there's lots of ideas going around, but as with everything in the pandemic, it's very hard to plan and put dates in before you know what actually might be possible. But we are working on this, and as soon as we can go firm on certain dates, certain events, then we will let you know. Under discussion are things like, for instance, prize giving. So we would normally have the Leavers Day in the lower school. We would normally have the middle school prize giving in the senior school and the upper school one as well. I do have a guest speaker booked in for the main prize giving for the CMA, and she's ready and willing to come. So we can do all that. That would be fantastic. Likewise with sports days. It'd be tremendous to be able to run those, so we're very much hoping to do so, and also various musical events and so forth. You've probably noticed that Dr. Lawson has taken the decision that the Wizard of Oz will now happen at the usual time, that is February next year. So effectively, we've now pushed it forward to the time when it would normally happen. So a lot of thinking has gone into that and various other things. We could be in for a very nice time at the end of the Trinity term in terms of what might be possible within the school. And of course, I'm sure you, like me, are holding in your mind the thought that you might be able to go abroad in the summer and generally enjoy yourselves in ways that haven't been possible for such a long time. I hope you and your families are coping well with the lateral flow testing at home. Mrs. Anderson and her team did a fantastic job to finish that off in school with the 3rd dose on Monday and Tuesday of this week. And now it's over to you. And I've been doing this at home, and I find once you get into a rhythm of it, It's very straightforward, and we keep getting back these negative results, which is absolutely fantastic. So lots going on still. One more week to go. It'll be a very full week in school. Children clearly still very happy to be back in school with their friends, although of course some are struggling and will, I fear, continue to struggle this year because it's been such a disrupted and difficult time for so many. And I'd just like to thank here my pastoral time, the assistant heads in the senior school, Mrs. Sharkey and Mr. Allen, and also all our dedicated pastoral heads in the lower and the senior school and the section heads for all the great work they do to help our pupils as they negotiate this difficult time. And our school counsellor, Jenny Long, also plays a great part in this. There's no doubt about it, this has been the most challenging year pastorally for all schools that we've had for many a year. And if your child is finding it tough, please make sure that you make the relevant person within the school aware of that. So I hope you do have a good weekend and a good week next week, and I look forward to giving my end of term message next week. Thanks for listening.